This is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and I'm a couple minutes early. But I wanted to tell you about these new sweet rolls that I just got in. Let me move them out of the way. Now, I ordered those sweet roll yarns. They have about 5 ounces. Let me look, make sure. Yes, 5 ounces on each one. And you can see they have several color changes. This one's my favorite. I can't wait to use this one. But anyway, hi Elizabeth. But anyway, I wanted to tell you where I got them from. Right here while we're getting started. I got them from a company called Kay's Crochet. And she has a website and a Facebook page. And I'm going to put that link on here because she can find you any of the yarns that you're looking for. I forgot to clink in. Clink. Get your coffee, girls. Good morning, Petra. Clink in. Anyway, I'm talking about these sweet cream rolls. I bought 5 different ones, and each one has 5 ounces on it. And I want you, if you're going to get them, you should get them from Kay's Crochet. I ordered them on Thursday. They were only $4.99 a piece. And she had a sale going. I think it was buy 4, get 1 free or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, I ordered them on Thursday afternoon, and I got them yesterday afternoon. So I ordered them on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I got them on Monday. Anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to Kay's Crochet because I was so impressed with her service. And she also has the Bernat blanket yarns in brights. I think I'm gonna go back and order some of those from her. Well, we have another jam-packed full video, and I can't keep it too long today. My voice is a little scratchy, and I have to tell you, it has been a crazy week or so, actually 2 weeks around here, and I'm hoping it'll settle down a little bit and we can get busy with the business of crochet. Well, like I said, if you're here today, clink in. I know I'm a couple minutes early. I was just so excited about all the fun things I have to talk about today. Well, let me show you real quick what's going on. This is one of our patterns I did a few years ago. It's just a fun little pilgrim hat, and I'm going to do a video for it. It's great for you, your dog. It's a great photo prop. It's great for decoration. It only measures about, 3.5 inches. It's just fun. And if you want to put it on your dog, you can add some ties. Good morning, Linda. Glad you joined us. Clink in. Hey, did you see all those really cute Halloween likes and sads and mad where they had the witch and the pumpkin and the ghost? Those were the cutest thing ever. Hi, Carol. Thanks for showing up. Anyway, this is one of our videos we're going to do this week. It's an older pattern, but we're going to do a video on it. Another thing we're doing this week is I've got a new dog bandana. It's got some puff stitches in it, or some bobble stitches actually. They're not the typical bobble. So I'm going to call them a bump stitch. You know I name my stitches whatever I want anyway. I don't stick with the norm. Anyway, this is a pattern for dog or cat bandana. It's got a nice thick band on it for warmth. That's one we're going to be doing this week. Hi, Michelle. Clink in. The other thing we did yesterday is our Bernat blanket levies. And this one you can do 2 ways. You can add your own stuffed baby, or you can do the bear that's in the pattern. Now, you can change these ears out and make it any animal that you want. And another thing to know is that when I did my puppet pattern, on the puppet pattern, there's bear ears, dog ears, bunny ears, and cat ears. And those ears will work great for this. Just remember you're working a lot thicker yarn with this, so you may need to do less. But it'll work too, and you can make this any animal that you want. This is a free pattern on my blog, and we did the video. We finished it up yesterday. The funny thing about that video is I started it, and I got it all done, and I was going through it and editing it, and my nails were painted blue at the time. And I didn't like the angle of some of the second part of the videos. I didn't like the angle of them. So I decided to redo it. And then I realized that my nails were not blue anymore. So the beginning of the videos, I've got blue nails. And then the middle of the video and the end, I've got like clear nails. So it doesn't matter. The video still works. It's a great pattern. It's lots of fun. So anyway, we talked about the sweet cream rolls. Like I said, go to Kay's Crochet and order you some. They come fast and her prices are great. And we got some new videos and patterns. You notice my headband? Gobble, gobble, gobble till you wobble. That's just a fun new headband I just was sitting around. I designed the other night, and I thought it would be fun to wear. And also, it'll be a pattern eventually, a couple of days from now or something. Has to be tested and made sure I got my stitches right. You know, the worst part about being a crochet designer is the math. I'll have to tell you. I love the designing part. I hate the math part. All right, come here, Rosie. Today we're going to answer the question. Come on up here, baby girl. Come here. Today we're going to answer the question, and this is one I've gotten probably 150 times. It's a real important question, and it's, does my dog actually need a sweater? And if so, how do I make them wear it? Well, here's Rosie. Come here, girl. I'm going to pop her up here so you can see her. She's wearing one of our hoodies. And one thing to remember, come here, girl. One thing to remember, she's going to want to kiss me. To find out if your dog needs a sweater really is if they're cold. A lot of little dogs that stay inside all the time, they're not used to being out in the cold. And even big dogs. Come on, Max. He wants to sit up here too. Come on. Guess I better pick him up. Come here, buddy. All right. He's not happy unless he's a part of the video too. Well, anyway, if your dogs are inside dogs like mine, it's important that they do wear a sweater in the winter when you go outside because it's cold. And if your dog's not used to being outside, any size dog, if they're an inside dog and they're not used to being outside, it is a good idea to put a sweater on them. But how do we get them? How do we get them to keep the sweater on? Let me give you a couple of hints. And I talked about this the other day when I was doing my pet costume contest. And don't forget, that video is still there. And next Tuesday, we'll pick a couple of winners for that. So if you dressed your dog up, put a picture of him on that video. You can find it over on I think it's the right-hand side. Maybe it's the left-hand side. I don't know. But if you go look on my Facebook page, it says videos. It's the one that's got Maximo in the kitty cat or bunny outfit. Anyway, so how do we get a dog to accept a new sweater or costume or hat or anything? Well, the key here is that dogs are scent creatures. Everything is about smell. That's why when they greet another dog, they smell their rear ends. They sniff where other dogs go potty and they mark it. You know, that's what they're all about. That's why you hear stories about dogs will eat a wrench, or they'll swallow a pen, or swallow a dog toy or a cat toy or something. And it's because their owner's scent is on it. If you had a cheeseburger and you picked up a nail or maybe a grab full of nails and went to work, the dog's going to smell that cheeseburger and your scent on those nails, and they might try to eat those nails. That's why you hear of weird things that dogs swallow. Well, in order to get a dog to really want to wear a sweater, here's Maximo's favorite sweater. And what you can do is you can take that sweater and rub it on your arm like this. Rub it on your arm, maybe your neck. Don't do your face because usually you have oils and makeups and different things like that. Rub it on your leg or whatever, and it will get your scent as his owner or her owner on it. That's one thing that you can do, because dogs are, like I said, scent creatures. Hi, sweetie. Oh. He's like, Mom, I want my sweater on. The other thing that you can do is put that sweater, new hat, or new item in where they sleep. I wouldn't suggest putting it in there when they're sleeping in there, or when they're in there, like if they're in a crate or something, because they might tear it up because it doesn't have their scent on it. But what you can do is when they're out of their crate or out of their bed, or if they sleep with you, just stick it in there. Put the new sweater or hat underneath their blankets or their cushion so that it can get their scent on it also. And that way they smell you and they smell their scent, and it's familiar. It sounds weird, but it really works. It really does, because like I said, dogs are all about scent. Now this is Maximo's favorite sweater. We'll go ahead and slip it on him. He's shaking here because it's cold. It got so cold today, the wind is just howling. And most little dogs will The wind's howling. She's barking at it. Most little... All right, that's enough, girl. Hush now. But anyway, most little dogs will accept a sweater without too much trouble, really. Especially if they're inside dogs that are not used to the cold, because they don't want to be cold. You know, my dogs hate being cold. They really do. Another thing that's really, really important with male dogs is that the sweater not touch their business. I hate to say that on video for everyone to hear, but it's really, really true. Because of the dogs being sensitive, you know, the boy dogs. Girl dogs, it's not that big of a deal because they squat. But boy dogs are extremely weird about the sweater or the costume or whatever you're putting on them not touching their business. You know what I mean? Because if it gets in the way of them marking something, they won't like it. And really, when it comes to a new item, whether it be a blanket, a hat, a sweater, a new belly band, or whatever you're going to do, before you put it on your dog, rub it on your skin to get your scent. And you can rub it on them, but it works best to put it, like I said, underneath their blankets where they spend a lot of time. For instance, if you have a blanket on your couch like we do, where the dog lays all the time, just slide a new sweater or hat underneath that blanket. They'll smell it eventually, but at first it's a foreign scent. I mean, if you think about it, lots of other people have touched it. You know, if you bought it from me, I touched it. I purchased the yarn. Whoever touched that yarn touched it. And those are all those scents that get on there. If you buy it from a store, say PetSmart or Walmart, all the people who made it, all the people who packaged it, all the people who stocked it have all touched that item. And so all those crazy scents are on there. And so they're not going to want to put it on at first. It needs to get their scent and their owner's scent on it. Rosie's upset because we are having quite a windy day. I woke up this morning and I thought someone was trying to break in my house. The wind was blowing so hard. So yeah, our wind is, it's November 1st. I think our fall's finally coming. We've had the warmest fall, I think, in Colorado that I can remember. Of course, we've only lived here about 5 years, so. Anyway, well, this is Maximo, and he loves his sweaters. This one's the favorite one, I think, because it can slip on really nice and easy. And that's another thing to remember. Let me go ahead and set him behind me. They like to sit behind me on the chair when I'm doing stuff. But anyway, another thing to remember is all right, go find out what it is. Go on. They got to go find out what it is. Crazy dogs. Anyway, if it's hard for you to get the sweater on, they may not like it. And so, Rosie, that's enough. All right, I let her go see. Now she's going crazy. So, anyway, back to our conversation. Dogs are so fun. Mine are just so much fun, too. Anyway, another thing to remember is if the sweater is hard to get on your dog. If you have a lot of buttons and snaps and zippers and fussiness, they're probably not going to be patient and want to do that. And I have a thing where I really do not like putting buttons underneath a sweater. I don't like zippers. I don't like Velcro. And none of my patterns will have that on the chest portion at all, because I don't want that Velcro and the snaps and the buttons and all that stuff, the zipper, to get caught in that sensitive skin or hair that's on their tummy. And number two, a dog's going to chew on those. And if a button is small enough, they can choke on it. And also, I mean, just chew on the zipper or snaps and stuff. When I have something that's going to attach, I try to use the D-rings. And I try to use a good steel D-ring that they're not going to be able to chew off. And so that's kind of my take on that. Just remember, not all dogs need a sweater, although I think they do. It's always good to have one that is easy to slip on, especially, you know, you keep your house warm in the winter and they may not be cold. Some dogs do like to have a sweater on if they're little, or maybe like a hairless cat or a hairless dog, you know. But make or buy a sweater that's easy to slip on and off, that you can get on and off quickly. Lay it by the door or hang it on a hook by the door with your key rings or whatever. and so that it can be easily slipped on and off, and that's the best way to go. My dogs are used to dressing in clothes and wearing sweaters and, you know, bandanas and collars and hats, and you know, they're used to it because I did it since the moment I got them. You know, Maximo was about 9 months old and Rosie was a newborn baby puppy. And from the moment they, you know, I got them, good morning, Trish. From the morning I got them, I dressed them in clothes, and because it was a lot of fun, you know, all the fancy sweaters and things. Did you clink in, Trish? So anyway, things to remember about dogs and clothes. If a dog is cold, put a sweater on them. And to get them to like it, rub it on your skin or put it in their clothes or their things. You can put it in the bottom of their toy box. You can put it in their blankets, anywhere they sleep or lay, so that it can get their scent on it. And do those two things before you try to put it on them, and they're more than likely to accept it better. If your dog has never worn clothes, say you got a dog that's 4 or 5 years old and has never worn a sweater or a costume or something, they may not like it, and it may take a little bit of time for them to get used to it. And they may tear it up. I mean, you know, we try to put human emotions and characteristics on dogs, but the bottom line is they're still a dog. They're still going to eat their poo and other animal stuff, and they're still going to dig for worms and roll in the grass. They're dogs. I tell my dogs all the time, stop acting like a dog. So just in review, we talked about the new sweet cream rolls, and like I said, go to Kay's Crochet. She's got the best prices, and she ships quickly. We talked about the new items, dropped them on the ground. The new Bernat blanket loveys. These are so soft, so soft. That has 2 options. We talked about the new dog warm bandana that we're going to do. He's wanting to get back up here. We're almost done, buddy. And of course, our new little pilgrim hat. And that's what's going on this week at Posh Pooch Designs. Now, I do want to remind you that I do have a lot of questions yet to answer, but if you have any question, you can message that to me here on my Facebook page, and I'll be happy to, and if you want, it's a personal question or something you don't want to put out here, I'll answer that question for you the best I can. But if it's a question about crochet or dogs or knitting or something yarny that I can help you with, and I'll do my very best to answer that question. And if I don't know the answer, I'll try to find it for you. I have a lot of friends in the crochet world that would be happy to answer a question for you. So if I don't know the answer, I will find it. All right. I hope everyone had a wonderful, happy Halloween. And remember to post those pictures on the video that says Pet Costume Contest over in my videos section. And today is the 1st of November. Remember to be thankful. And I think it's a great idea to post something you're thankful for every day. Because I think when we're grateful and we're thankful, it helps us not be so negative. And remember, we want to stay happy. So, I want you all to have a fantastic Tuesday, a wonderful November. And remember, next Tuesday, I will announce who the 3 winners are for the Pet Costume Contest. So get those pictures posted. Have a wonderful Tuesday.